So typically how we make a game is we have a pre-production period and then a production period. So the pre-production is trying to figure out how to make the game, and then production is actually making the game.
Pre-production on a lot of games that I've worked on has been really abstract or dealing with very high-level philosophical things. On this game, I said, look, we're making a game that is like the Infinity Engine games. It's going to have this sort of a camera. It's going to be fixed. The environments are going to be 2D. You're going to use marquee select with a mouse and this. It's going to be on this. End of story. And there wasn't really debate about that stuff. Everyone was like, yeah, of course, and no problem.
Okay, so we had this really cool screenshot that we rendered. Now, how do we turn that into the game? Now you need to fold it back up into a development process, which is, okay, so you guys need to define what is that first prototype for the game that we're gonna make, and based upon the resources you have now and the resources we think we're gonna have, can you make that, and when can you make it by?
And so what we've done with Project Eternity is we've kind of scheduled it out in multiple prototypes, and we're trying to prove to ourselves that we can actually build this game. And not only to ourselves, but to the owners as well. And so we're trying to keep the team as small as possible. Let's figure it out first, and then once we enter production, we can add more people to the team. But the team size at the end of the day, when we're at full production, is still going to be really small.
There can't be kind of 3 producers, there can only be a producer. There's going to be 1 guy doing, or 1.5 guys doing character animations, and not 5. And that's really how we have to manage it. For some of us, it's not that different, just because that's what we used to do. One of my first games was a game called Shattered Steel that was made by BioWare. I was the producer. They're up in Canada. I was here in Irvine, and I wrote all of the dialogue. You say that nowadays, it would be crazy, like that doesn't happen. But I guess that's what Eternity is. It's kind of going back to, like, we all gotta wear different hats. I think sometimes when you have these huge teams, like, you think that to do anything you need a huge team, and you don't.
So on the creative side of things, we have George Zeitz, Chris Avalone, and Eric Fenstermaker, and they are responsible for the story and the creative lore part of the world, and they're also going to be writing the game. Bobby Knoll is our lead level designer, and so he gets to design the maps and stuff like that. And then we have Tim Kane, and Tim has been in the game industry for 30 years, and he's a hybrid. He can program and he can design stuff. On the art side of things, we have Dimitri Berman, who's our lead character artist. Dimitri basically designs the outfits and models and textures, the outfits of the characters and all the creatures and the monsters. We have Hector Espinoza, who is our lead environment artist, and he makes all the areas that you visit in the game, and gets to make really beautiful landscapes. And then we have Mark Bremerkamp, who's our lead animator. His responsibility is to make things move and to bring things to life. My name's Adam Brennicke, and I'm executive producer and lead programmer on the project. My polar opposite on the project is Josh Sawyer, and he's the project director. We kind of have a push and pull on how our dynamic works. He's kind of the creative guy who kind of pushes his vision. My job is to make sure that we're on time and on budget. And Josh is kind of figuring out, like, what is this game all about?
I want to make a game that captures what I feel were the best elements of the Infinity Engine games. I want to have really beautiful, unique, dynamic environments. You go into the world and you feel like, oh, this is like amazing, and I want to explore every inch of this world. I want to make a game that has a story that is really interesting, has lots of awesome characters that you love to learn about and love to interact with, and that you as a player have a lot of agency in resolving. I want to have a game system, like the RPG mechanics and the combat mechanics, that really gets you interested in how you build your characters, how you use them in combat, how you overcome obstacles. We believe you want a challenge when you buy this game, because those games were challenging. And when we look at whether it's system mechanics or the interface or things like any of that sort of stuff, we keep that in mind. So if you make a crazy party, like this is the party of paladins, we're all holy warriors, it's paladins and clerics only, or really diverse, or only Orlans, whatever you come up with, you're going to have your own challenges, but they're going to be your challenges. And that's really going to stay with you.